Hello friends and welcome to my channel Iballdesigningdeveloper. So like you all know that previously on we have covered up many of the things using C++ language, and I hope you enjoyed all the videos which we have covered up yet. So in this video I will be telling you about stacks in C++, that what is stacks, how to work with it, and basically why we use stacks in C++. So it will be a really amazing video in which you will be learning about stacks from start, that how to use stacks and what are the tags which we have to use when we are starting with this topic stacks here in C++. So I hope you'll be enjoying this tutorial video from start. So if you enjoy this video and if you understand this amazing tutorial here, so remember to hit a like to this video, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like that, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I'll be uploading on this channel. So now what we are waiting for, let's move to computer screen and let's get started. So now we are on the computer screen, and like I've told you in the start that today in this video I'll be telling you about stacks in C++. So now if we talk about a stack, basically a stack stores multiple elements in a specific order called LIFO. LIFO stands for last in first out. To visualize LIFO, think of a pile of pancakes where pancakes are both added and removed from the top. So when removing a pancake, it will always be the last one you added. This way of organizing elements is called LIFO in computer science and programming. So basically it is saying me that a stack stores multiple elements in a specific order, and the specific order in which the stack stores multiple elements is called LIFO, and LIFO stands for last in first out, and that's the thing. If we move down and if we learn about vectors, like we have learned about vector in previous video as well, like what are vectors and how to use them, and with that we have also learned about lists. So unlike vectors, elements in the stack are not accessed by index numbers. Since the elements are added and removed from the top, you can only access the elements at the top of the stack. So it is saying me that like in vector we access the element by index numbers, but in stack we cannot do that, because in stack we add elements and remove it from the top, so we can only access the elements at the top of the stack. And to use a stack you have to include the stack header file, like we were doing in vector and list when we have to use them. So we need to include their header file. So like that in stack as well, when we need to use stack, so for that we need to include the header file of a stack, and after that we need to now learn that how we can create a stack. So to create a stack, use the stack keyword and specify the type of values it should store within angle brackets, and then the name of the stack we have to write. So it can be like this stack keyword, then you have to write the type of your stack, like it is a string, index or integer, so you can write any of the type here, and after that you need to write your stack name, like here it is the example, the stack keyword we have used, and after that in type we have written string, and after that we have written our stack name as cars, like we were doing in vectors and list. Same method we have to apply in stack as well. If we move down and if we learn that what's the note written here, so the note is saying me that the type of the stack string in our example cannot be changed after it's been declared, and that was the same thing in vector and list as well. When we have generated the type of vector or list, so we cannot change it after it has been declared, and in stack as well we cannot change the declared value when we have written string in the type. So we can only just we can go with the string, we cannot change the value, and like that we do in stack as well. If I move down and if we learn about another note which is written here, so it is written as you cannot add elements to the stack at the time of declaration like you can with vectors. Like in vectors we can add elements to the stack at the time of declaration, but we cannot do that in stack. So in a stack you cannot add elements to the stack at the time of declaration, and that's the difference between vector and stack. If we move down and if we see how we can create a stack with keyword, like we have understand, like for creating a stack we need to create first of all the keyword of stack, after that we need to declare the type, and after writing the type we have to give our stack name like it is written, and after that we need to add our strings if we have added the type as a string. If you have written the type as integer, so you have to write the integer numbers, but we have added the value as a string, so that's why I will be adding strings like I have added here. And the string name which I have written is cars, so I have added different car names like Volvo, BMW, Ford, Mazda, like we were doing same thing in vector and list as well. If I move down and if we understand how to add elements in it, so to add the elements to the stack, use the dot push function after declaring the stack. So normally when we were using vectors and list, in that also we were using the same method dot push function to add elements in it. So like that we need to use same function in stack as well to add different elements in our string, and that's the way to use it. And how to access the stack element, so you cannot access stack elements by referring to index number like I've told you at top as well. So you would with arrays and vectors you can do that thing. In a stack you can only access the top element, which is done using the top function. So for accessing the top element, which you can only do in a stack, is that you need to use dot top function to access that top element only, because in a stack you can only access the top element, you cannot access all the string elements like we were doing in vectors and lists. If I move down and if we understand how to change the top element which we were having the access of, so you can also use the dot top function to change the value of the top element. Like if the top element is having the value Tesla, so we can change it to like any other car name like Audi, Toyota, any other car name. You can give the value of the top element, you can change the top value element. So that's the thing, that how you can use this dot top function. And if you want to access the dot top element, so for that you need to use count and then cars dot top, and after that the new output you will be getting instead of Mazda will be Tesla, like we have changed the value here using this car.top here. If I move down and if we learn that how you can remove the elements from the string which you are using here, so you can use dot top function to remove an element from the stack, and this will remove the last element that was added to the stack. Like using this dot top function you can remove the last value in your string which you have written, like the last value which we are having here is Mazda. So when I will be writing cars.pop, so it will be removing the last added element which is Mazda, and it will be printing only three values here which will be Volvo, BMW and Ford. These three values will be printed in my output, and that's the way to remove the element in your string using stack. So if we move down and if we want to understand that how we can manage the size of the stack, so for that you need to find out how many elements a stack has by using this dot size function. So I will be using cars dot size. You can give any of the name to your string, like I have written my string name as cars, so I will be using cars dot size here. And after that we need to check if the stack is empty, like if we need to check how our stack is empty, like why our stack is empty. So for that you can use dot empty function to find out if the stack is empty or not, and the empty function returns 1 true if the stack is empty, 0 false otherwise. The example you will be getting is here which we have written, like in cars if we have written anything, so it will be printing me output as 0 which will be false because we have written anything in our string. If we have not written anything, so it will be printing me output as 1 because it will be true that we have written anything in the string value, and that's the way to use it. So I hope you understand how we are using it and how we are getting. So in other video, in the next video I will be telling you about queues as well, which we use with the stacks, but that's the different procedure to use it, so that's why I'm not moving on that. So now what I'm going to do is here I will be just moving down and I will be just copying the example here, that how we can use these things. So I will be now just doing one thing, like I will be moving at the top here and I will be just copying this thing which we are getting here like this. And after copying this, just I will be copying this here like this. After doing this thing, what I'm going to do is I'll be moving to Google Chrome, and like you all know that we were using Replit Text IDE in the previous video, so I'll be opening that IDE here, and then I will be opening my REPL as well, which we were using. So this was our REPL. In the previous video we were learning about list, so this is the list REPL which we have created, and now I will be changing the name of my REPL here. And like in this video I'm telling you about like queues and stacks, so I will be giving the title here as stacks in C++. Then I'll be pressing enter, and you can just see we have changed the topic to stacks. And now what I'm going to do is, first of all, I will be adding include IOStream here like this, and after that I will be writing include, and like we were including some other things as well. So if I move here and if I show you, so we were including a stack in the library in the header file, so we need to add stack header file as well. So I will be moving on to my REPL here, and then I will be writing a stack like this, and now here I will be writing using namespace std, and then I will be moving down right here init main, so that we can write all the things in this init main class or function, you can say. So I'll be pasting this thing. After pasting this, you can just see we are getting this thing here, but if I just show you by running it, so we will be not getting any output, or you can just say we will be getting an error. You can just see like here we are getting is. So what I'm going to do is now I will be moving on to my file as well. This is the header, and this is the way to create strings here. So what I'm going to do is I'll be just moving down here, and then we have to just do like this. I'll be copying this thing here, then I'll be moving here in the file again, and I'll be pasting this. After doing this thing, what I'm going to do is I'll be running it, and if I run and if I show you the values, you can just see we are getting nothing in the print because we have just written the values, we have not written the string names here, so that's why we are not getting anything printed. So what I'm going to do is now I will be just copying this thing here now, and I will be pasting it down here. After doing this, I will be just now running it. If I run it here to show you the output, you can just see we are getting an output here as error. So I will be now running it again to show you the thing, and you can just see again we are getting the same thing here. So what I'm going to do is I'll be just moving here like this, and in a stack we have written cards, and then in cards we have written these all things. So I will be just copying this here, and then I will be writing here equal to like this, and I will be pasting all the things which we have copied here like this. And now if I just run it, so you will be getting an output here. So if you are getting an error, so you have to check why you are getting it, and you have to include the stack file here, and after that we need to include the string file as well. So what I'm going to do is I'll be writing here a string like this, and then after that I will be just saving this, and then if you run it again, so you will be getting again the same output here. So you can just use stack here normally if you want to use, and you can just remove the cars here which you have written so that you can get same output printed. So what I'm going to do is now I will be just removing this thing here which we have written in the curly braces, and I will be now running it simply here. So after running, you can just see again we are getting a output here as error. So I'll be saving it like this, then Control Z, and here as well I will be doing same thing, and then you have to save it. And if you have run this, so you will be getting a different output here like this, you can just see. So this is the thing how you can just work with it. And if you want to add, if you want to access the element here, so for that you need to use this cars.top. So I'll be just copying this thing here now, and I will be moving on to my Google Chrome here, and I will be just moving down and I'll be pasting it. After doing it, I will be running it here, and after running you can just see we are getting nothing. Why we are getting it? Because we have not printed anything yet, so that's why. If I just paste it here like this, if I move at my Word document again, and if I just copy the stack strings which we have copied here, so I'll be copying this and I'll be pasting it here in the place of it. And what I'm going to do is now I will be printing this here. So for printing I'll be using count here, and in count I will be writing here cards like this. And now here I will be just moving, and then I will be now writing here string cars like this. And you can just see when you have written this thing, so you will be now not getting any error because now we have printed this thing here. That's why the output will be not now giving me an error, and it will be printed successfully here. So you need to just do this here normally, and if you run it, you will be getting an output printed like this. And you can just see we are working with our stacks here, and like this you can create a stack of a string called cars like we have created here, and you have to print this thing as well so that you should be not getting any error here. That's why the error we are getting here is because we have not printed this thing using the count function. So we have to use count function, and we have to print this thing so that the error which we are getting is not come, and then we can successfully run and we can get this output running, which is Volvo, BMW, Ford and Mazda, which we have printed in our cars string of a stack. So I hope you understand how we can create different stacks here using C++, how we are creating a stack. And this is the same way like we were applying in vectors and strings, that how we are creating that in vectors and list as well, we were applying the same way, and in stack as well we need to use the same way to print different things, and like this you can do that. So I hope you understand in this video that how we are creating a stack, how we are adding the values in it, how we are changing the type of stack. I hope you understand each and everything in this video. So if you have understand this video and if you enjoy this video of a stack here, so remember to hit a like to this video, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like that, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I'll be uploading in future. So now I'll be meeting you next tutorial here in C++. So for today, goodbye.